it's a brilliant position to be in. Suddenly, we've been in an industry, as you said, where being 4 years behind the times and you're still cutting edge, still bleeding edge. But now we're looking at payments as a very customer-driven perspective, rather than this thing that, I just have to do. Because now we don't even have to think of payments. They can be invisible. So how do you make it actually a selling point? And you spoke to customer demands, and I'm really excited to kind of hear that, because I think we all have our own. It's a very diverse cultural phenomenon. So how do you think customer demands have changed in payments when it comes to an in-store offering?
Yeah, it's a really good question. And again, just beyond that sort of the choice, the flexibility, the ability to accept the type of payment that I want to make, I think the demand from the customer is that it's invisible. It's really just, whether the customer knows this or not consciously, right? They don't want to have to think about the point of payment. And certainly the merchant doesn't want the customer to have to think about the point of payment. They want the customer to have an experience of getting something from their store. And that's it's really funny, right? When we go and talk in industry events, we're quite often now one of the very few players that are still really talking about in-person payments. There's a huge amount of buzz around e-commerce and online payments and all of this sort of stuff, but we're really still focused on in-person. And one of the big reasons for that is I don't think it's going anywhere. There is nothing quite like that sort of rush that you get as a consumer when you go somewhere, you physically pick something up, you go and then it's yours, right? You own it. And the merchants want to drive that experience even more, and to do that they need seamless payments. They need payments which don't make the consumer worry, they don't make the consumer think, they don't offer any resistance to the consumer, but equally they still give the benefits to the merchant, things like being able to have hyper-personalization and things like being able to drive customer loyalty, but without getting in the way of that sort of seamless experience of shopping and purchasing something. So there's that sort of fine line balance in in-person payments, which for me isn't quite there in e-commerce. You've got more space and time to drive more things. In-person, it's about walking that line between how do I make the payment process disappear completely, but how do I still get as much benefit out of that payment experience, both for the consumer, but also for the merchant that's accepting that payment.